On the Moodle, I'm going to use these images here. What I do want to use are the texture files. And I might actually just use this paste-in couch image, but there's a whole range of them that are there. So I've just downloaded the folder. We just have a look at it. What we're going to do is we're just going to pop a logo on the image after we've fixed it up. Okay, now what we're about to do are things that are done very commonly, quite often in real estate advertisements for houses for sale and things. They'll clean it up, they'll put a fire in the fireplace, put some nice artwork on the wall, make it look like it's sunny outside by putting a sunny outside image in there. So what I'll do, yes. Yeah, we'll save it to your computer, save it locally to the save to the, okay, and then you can put it up on the cloud a bit later. So any one of these you can do. Actually, maybe I will use this one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put different artwork on the walls. I'm going to change the colour of the lounge suite, okay? And I might even change the colour of the wall. In fact, I might put wallpaper on there, okay? So there's a few things I'm going to do to change this. So this one's just called R12. But I'm going to file save as onto the computer and just call this lounge room. I'll just call it 01. If you wanted to, you could call it R12 01, so you know which image you've actually used. And just make sure it's a Photoshop file. Okay. Also, while you're there, just double click and open these texture files. And all they are is a whole host of layers of different photographic textures, okay? And we'll be able to choose some of these to put into the image, okay? So, are we ready to go? So I'm going to talk about a few different things today. Okay, on the Moodle, there's adjustment layers, room interior, and I'm just using this R12 one, but there's a paste-in couch and then there's texture files, okay? And there'll be a nice IKEA logo that we'll put in there as well, okay? Now, let's have a look at this image. So I'll go image size. This tells us that it's about the size of a large desktop computer or your average television screen. Okay, so it's a fairly good size. It's 72 pixels per inch, so that's screen size. So we wouldn't be doing this for any print advertisements. We could do them for online or social media or these sorts of things, because that's all it needs to be. Now, what we've looked at so far is selection tools, and these work quite well. We've also used a bit of AI with that contextual taskbar, which is somewhere hiding. Doesn't matter, I'm not going to use it. And we also last week used the select subject tool to select the Pokemon. Okay, so a bit of AI, and depending upon the quality of the image, we can select things, all right? But let's have a go. So for example, if I use the quick selection tool, and I might just duplicate this layer first so I have a backup just in case I do silly things. So with the quick selection tool, again, to the right of the P key, I have the left curly bracket, right curly bracket to make my brush bigger or smaller. I can actually paint over the image with the selection tool. So it's like painting with a selection brush. Now, if you just look at this, then I'll get you to, you'll be able to go off and do it. Now, if we have a look, you might notice that a little bit of selection area here on the windows come through, and also a little bit of the floor has come through, and a bit of the cushion has been selected. So what I can do, magic finger, hold down the Option or Alt key, and I can unselect areas. Okay, now depending upon the size of the brush, so the Option or Alt key is unselecting. If I take that off, I can come through and I can do a fairly good job selecting this shape. All right. And so just watch, because you'll be able to come through and do the rest of the lounge suite. Last week, let's bring this up here. We used that in the little adjustments. We've got solid color. And what we can do is we can just come through and find a nice, well, a color for this lounge suite. Okay, and we can come through. So let's just say I'll work with this. No, but I am going to change the blend modes. Remember our blend modes last week?
Is that so you have like the details and stuff?
Yeah, so what we have, so in the blend mode, so where we see normal, the first band sort of keeps the darker tones. The second band does the lighter tones, and the third band is doing the overlays. So we could come in here, I don't mind that. I can come in and adjust the opacity if we want. Now, this is a mask. So with my paintbrush, I can paint in, change it to white, paint out. I can come in here and I can clean up my edges. Again, just thinking. It's very hard with a mouse to do this. It'll be near impossible if you've got your finger on a scratch pad on your laptop. Most people use like a graphic pen, which is much handier to work. A stylus, yes. So we can come in here and we can keep on adjusting as we go. Now, what I'm doing is prototyping. So if I was an interior designer, I could say, okay, this is what your room will look like with this coloured fabric, or this is what your room will look like in this way. So I can come in here, and if I wanted to, watching, with my white brush, I can come in here and paint this one. It's on the same layer. So I could do that. Okay. I'll undo it. Or if I came back here, quick selection. Just try and grab as much as possible. Option key. Again, knowing I can clean all of this up. So I'm going to just I'm going to give this to you in a moment. Hold the shift key to select a new area. Okay, I can come through and clean up. Hold my shift key down. I'm in here. Get my option key and unselect the cushion areas. All right, so you start to get a feel for selecting areas, and just remember, I'm going to have the mask brush, which I can come in and clean up a bit later. Okay, so I can come in here. All right, so all I've done is I've selected this layer with the eyedropper. And what blend mode did I have on here? Linear light. Not quite. Okay. Actually, I don't mind that one. That colour's actually quite nice. All right, so just have a little bit of fun with this. And just get the idea with just using that selection tool to select it. And in in about 5 minutes, I'm going to put different artwork in on the walls. Okay, and I'll also put wallpaper on the wall. Okay, so I'll just come around and see how you. So using I'm just going to open it up again, so I'll just open it directly. Now, what we want is 3 steps all the time. You can do. Just say, reset. So we actually going to those here. No, there's not been fine. Yes, I'll say this.
I have to say to this man.
Okay.
I say that.
No, hold on. Can I open this only? Outside. Rather than using the desktop, it's opening here, so you know things about, give it a new name. So. Basically, okay. Make sure it's a Photoshop. All right, selecting things. Okay, select. So, make it so that just yeah. Sliding here. Yeah. Fine, looks looking for a king. Thank so again, and because of the touch topics, then
Very small.
one, what we do. Sorry. Yes. Right. So what we've got is let's just layer something.
I'm sorry.
It is that.
Actually,
So yes, that on that. No, wants to sleep there. So before we let's just paint. E. E.
the color of light. If you need a good friend.
I clicked on this and I did so.
But the.
And while it's made the first second,
I did.
And-
Maybe there's something. Oh, it's just not saying you're right. It's
we will make plans.
making things like that. It's like.
Stop. Oh, so now it's something else. And then I'll just train more. And just come down and see what I see. Right. Now, this is saying, now we come to the market on the last. And now your paintbrush. It's no longer a paintbrush, it's a mask. So this painting here, so yeah, I'll change why it's not the other way. We don't suppose to change the brush. You begin the brush and the lines. I'm just make that a bit harder. Yeah. Now, so eat. So it's non-destructive. Yeah. Right, so that's all right. Then, on the solid colour, so yes, change the colour. Clicking the colour, clicking the colour. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to change the blend, so let's select the thing.
And then we should just take again.
Now we go and be. Speaking of which, I've got to not put the okay.
Yes.
Got like a bit of